Greetings, greetings. Wanted to hit you guys up real quick. Just something that's on my mind. Something that I think should be considered moving forward. Um, so in trading, there's a lot of mindset stuff that goes on, and I like to look into, read, and watch videos regarding mindset from some of the people that I respect the most. Um, and Mayweather was saying to be the best, you have to work overtime. It's one of the things he says over and over in one of the videos I found earlier today. Um, and I really think that that's something that people already know, but implementation is being lost uh, generation after generation. People don't have that stick-to-itiveness, that dogged persistence that you really need as a part of your lifestyle. It shouldn't really be effort at some point. It shouldn't be hard for you to have that mentality and adhere to it. It should come naturally. Um, and so one of the things I want to point out, with Newsense Trading is I want people to be able to, trade out of a finesse mindset, out of a effortless mindset. It should be that way. It should be you're able to step to your charts, not necessarily looking for a trade to take, but open to seeing the opportunities and taking the shot when you see it. This is, sniper mentality, not machine gun mentality. Um, we're looking for spots, we're looking for developments, and then we take those shots. Okay. So that out of the way, something that's even bigger I want to talk about, and that's starting points. So one of the philosophies that I've drilled into with Project Newsense, just on the philosophy side of the website, um, outside of trading, obviously it can be applied to trading, but outside of that, there's this lack of understanding when it comes to starting points. There's people all around us who are, will say that they're perfectionists. They call themselves perfectionists, um, yet they don't complete things, and they don't complete things not because they feel like it's at any fault of their own. They really feel like it's a good trait, perfectionism, which is holding them back from completing things. I'm just here to tell you that that is complete and utter BS. It's the worst. Do not trust that. Do not believe that. Um, to be quite honest with you, I think it's a cop out. I think that there's a better route, and the route that I've kind of discovered is complete then tweak. So you complete it first, and then you tweak it the next go around, and tweak it the next go around, and tweak it the next go around. So one thing that happens when you complete things, when you go all the way through with trying, you where you assumed was a complete attempt or a complete version of whatever you are attempting, it comes to light all the um, imperfections, all the problems, all the things that you didn't quite understand were there, issues. And so it gives you an opportunity to then go back and make a better version of it. So what I'm saying with all this is the faster you get from point A to point B, the faster you can get to a perfect version of that thing that you're avoiding because you want it to be perfect. And so we hurry up with the first draft, the rough draft, right? And then we turn around with that rough draft and clean it up. We want to get to that stage as soon as possible. So keep that in mind when you're going through these trading courses. You want to get through and get into a position to where you're actually in the driver's seat trading as soon as possible, so you can really feel those lessons, so those lessons can stick. Now, I'm not saying that you should recklessly go out there and do what I did. There's a double edge to everything, man, and the double-edged sword or whatever to this strategy, this idea is what ends up happening for me with options. So I had some opportunity to trade options while I was in college, and I just, I went head first into it. Didn't really understand what I was doing, but I also felt like I didn't want to just wait around, you know. there was complete, but there wasn't any tweak until I got a little bit older. So I got the complete part right. I did not get the tweak part right. Um, so when you're in this stage, though, do not bet the farm. You want to just complete to show and have proof of concept, and then you go clean up your trading, and then you can risk more capital over time as you get better. It's like being a boxer, man. I'm always on these sports metaphors. That's always going to be a part of what I do. Um, Being a boxer, you don't get a huge purse as an amateur fighter. You start making real money once you become a pro. Once you have more and more bouts under your belt, you're fighting better and better opponents. There's more hype surrounding that fight. Everything else, there's more people who are seeing the fight, and so the purses get bigger naturally. So with trading, even Irek mentions it. The 1% thing is something that comes from infinite prosperity, and he also has been a strong believer in that. But I watched one of his training videos recently, and he had mentioned, once you get extremely consistent with a certain setup, you can start to risk a little bit more. Take a 2% trade, 3%, 4% trade. And that can really add up when you're risking 4% of your account. And instead of doing a 1-to-1 trade, which would mean you're risking 4% to gain 4%, maybe you've gotten really good with that setup. Again, the same reason why you're able to risk more money is because you're consistent with that setup. Um, and maybe that setup for you is usually a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1. So, okay, let's do some quick math. If we're saying 4% on 2-to-1 trade, that means I risk 4% for 8%. And then on a 3-to-1, obviously you'd be at 12% on one trade. So it's possible to really hit some interesting numbers if you take the time to perfect that. If you do the complete then tweak strategy, I do believe that there's some fruit to that. But anyways, just wanted to drop that. Have you guys think about that? Think deeply about that, actually. Complete then tweak. You know, the mentality of, to be the best, you have to work overtime. You have to do more than the average in order to be the best. Maybe for you, being better than average is journaling your trades for the first time. Maybe nobody's ever brought that to you, to where you actually keep track of the strategy used, the setup, the mindset, the pair, um, everything. Taking photos, having evidence, having a complete understanding of what happened on that trade, so you can go back and analyze it and become a better trader later. That's where people get better. And I think right now in society, for sure, we're in a position where people want to go accomplish things, and they seldom look back and try to tweak and understand what can be made better or what can be done better next go around. So that would lead to improvement naturally, actually. So anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Look forward to dropping some good screen shares this week, and I'll talk to y'all soon. If you haven't already, go check out projectnewsense.org and read in the trading section, but feel free to also read the regular blog and see about the philosophy and other things I got going on there. Anyways, peace.